retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General Russell Honoré, who led the relief effort, of course, in the days following Katrina in New Orleans. He happens to be a 37-year veteran of our armed forces. He has written a book that is called Leadership in the New Normal, and we recommend it. General, tell me what the response would have been if you'd been at your desk in the Pentagon watching live news coverage across the Potomac River with the ability to send people, manpower, across the river to help.
That's a great question. And watching this whole thing unfold yesterday, we would have been giving warning orders to the D.C. National Guard to start to prepare to mobilize. You can prepare troops to mobilize and assemble them before you employ them. So mobilization and employment is different. I was surprised that the Pentagon did not have those troops on standby. The FBI had a major failure in their intelligence, obviously by those offering the Capitol Police help, and they refused it. I think once this all get uncovered, there was some complicit actions at the Capitol Police. A police chief has been fired, but now we need to look at a special investigation. Was he complicit, along with the Sergeant of Arms in the House and the Senate? It gives appearance of complicity. They complied because they might have thought 45 was coming to the Capitol, and they gave way to the protesters who easily breached the Capitol. This is a crying damn shame. And I applaud those individual officers who put their lives on the line yesterday to try to restore order. But yesterday they were poorly led. The good news is tomorrow those three individuals will be fired and not allowed back into the Capitol. The Sergeant at Arms of both houses and the Capitol Police Chief. And I think investigation will find out there was some complicit actions here.
Indeed, over 50 of those officers in trying to do their jobs were injured, but as you point out, they were poorly led. This was a surprise to no one. The president had advertised it. Hell, this went out in a group email to every QAnon nut job and white supremacist and neo-Nazi and anti-Semite within hundreds of miles. Yet I want to read you this from the Washington Post. In memos issued on January 4 and 5, the Pentagon prohibited the district's guardsmen from receiving ammunition or riot gear, interacting with protesters unless necessary for self-defense, sharing equipment with local law enforcement, or using guard surveillance and air assets without the defense secretary's explicit sign-off, according to officials familiar with the orders. And, General, I think we know each other pretty well. I am not a conspiracy theorist either, and yet reading the tea leaves here, you would think that some kind of a fix was in.
It was complicit. They complied doing what they thought a 45 wanted to do. And I don't want to cross the line here because I'm subject to Uniform Code of Military Justice, but because if I make derogatory remark against the president or certain members of his cabinet. But I will say this, the hell with it. This was total incompetence, and it was complicit by the leadership involved in securing the Capitol because they wanted to please 45 because they thought he would come over. This is a crying shame. I used to be on the Joint Chiefs of Staff and attend meetings at the Situation Room weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. I know this security plan. I have coordinated with the Capitol Police, the Sergeant at Arms, in discussions on how we would secure the Capitol during the annual inauguration speech. I know this plan. I know the details. I know the intelligence that's collected by the FBI. I know the intelligence collected by now Homeland Security. They all knew that this could be a dangerous situation when you have that many people coming to town, and they failed to act. And the Department of Defense should have had the D.C. Guard standing by. also should have been standing by is the Maryland State Police and the Virginia State Police. This is an interagency operation, sir, and the FBI support teams. They were not there. This is a crime, damn shame. This is a failure in government. But what it did, it unmasked the division in this country, that there are people that's been given misinformation, Russian-type information operations by the like of Sean Hannity and 45 himself, that's something that the election was stolen. This problem will not go away. And we need to apply all elements of government and media to disenfranchise this idea that the election was stolen, because 45 has made some 70 million of his followers believe the election was stolen. And it's a shame, because he will go down in history. And kids will be asked
46 is
in history classes, what president sent a mob to the Capitol to go attack a place where the vice president was? This will be a history question.
Sadly, I think you're right. 46 is days away. Indeed, I've learned one of the Capitol Police officers has tonight passed away due to his injuries.
Sad.
General Russell Honoré, this is why we wanted to talk to you tonight. Thank you, sir.